All right, long time no see. Long time no see. I've been talking about this for a long time. I said I wanted to get back and do this, and here I am, right here, back in the swing of things, handling things, doing what I do best. Okay, so as you can see, I'm clicking on my screen right here. I'm pulling up the standings. We're going to talk about ALGS. We're going to get into all the good stuff. We're going to get into this stuff. Trust me, it's a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about. But again, this video isn't going to be long. I don't want to make these incredibly long. We're just going to go over the overview. I'm going to give some insights into some of the things that I've seen. And then I'm going to pull up some stuff so you guys can kind of see it. They'll be on the screen for you guys. I'll edit that in. And then we'll go from there. Welcome back to the channel. It's your host, the smoothest fingers in the gaming industry. Your man, Zaguru, Z. Bless up. As always, God bless. Welcome to the channel. Look. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. ALGS was absolutely crazy. It was like a madhouse. I don't know what it is with these games and how they're unfolding in the meta stuff right now, but the pacing is crazy. I think this is the most enjoyable Apex that I've watched. I do like in-game circles being hectic and crazy. I mean, I think that's what made Apex great, but at the same time, I like fast-paced, consistent gameplay coming from COD and coming from other things, so I completely understand if some people are not, really on that loop, don't really like that stuff. I get it. But for me, coming from that area and from that place, that's just what I like, man. I like fast-paced gameplay, and to see it really pick up now, it's a joy. It's a joy. So I'm not going to bitch about the meta too much. I'm not going to bitch about everything. But what I will talk about is the standings. So right now, if we take a look at the standings, we're going to see that Fnatic came out on top of Group C or D. And then we have Exo Clan, Crazy Raccoon, Iron Blood, and then NRG completely really rounded out the top 5. I guess you would say my surprise pick for today in this group would be Iron Blood. Iron Blood coming out and showing pretty much why they deserve to be here. Love to see it. Great for those guys. Crazy Raccoon and Fnatic, kind of picks that you would see there. NRG, of course, you would expect to be in that contention. And then you have Dark Zero kind of, underperforming a little bit, right? The defending champions you want to see start to step up here. But again, I would give it, a couple of days. It is the first day. A lot of teams need to find their way, find their rhythm, and get back into it. Ascend would be the team that I'm looking at and saying, hey man, like, you guys got to perform a little bit better. You got to come out and really just, start swinging a little bit more. I think that, their kills and their playing for KP is kind of ruining them. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive. But for right now, like I said, I think this is the first day. I think they can make those adjustments on the second day. But Ascend and Pioneers, where they're at right now, I think they can pick it up a little bit more. Singularity as well, I think they can pick it up a little bit more. And they're kind of underperforming right now. It happens, in these tournaments. You see the first day, the first jitter, the first lands coming in, and you see these people, kind of not being where we're accustomed to them being. And for the predictions, on the prediction side of things, they're not where we thought they would be. So rounding out C and D, let's move on to A and B. As you can see on the screen, Xset and J-Lings. Now, let me talk about J-Lings. J-Lings are probably the most patient team in the game right now. These guys are playing height incredibly well. They're taking their times on the last few fights. They're playing zone incredibly well. But most importantly, they are taking their battles like a team and fighting like a team. They seem cool, calm, and collected. But let me tell you something, guys. That man Zane is making a case for being the best player in the game. 2 1v3s. That man's cracked. Yo, get this man an MVP award at the end of this. Nocturnal and Zane are making a case for being the top 2 players in the world right now. And they look phenomenal. Zane came out swinging. Xset got a great lead. Started to cool off a little bit at the end of those games. Around game 5 and 6, they kind of, coasted, had a good lead, and we're like, all right, it is what it is. It's group stages, right? There's no reason to overexert yourself too much when you have that big of a lead. But at the same time, J-Ling's coming back and getting there, and Zane playing absolutely clutch as hell in those last few circles. It looks great, the 1v3s, and then game 6 for them to drop the way they did. They got third party, didn't really get the time that they wanted on that last circle, but in game 5, being able to drop down and get the win was crucial, and you love to see it. Moist Esports, Moist Critical, hey, my boy Moist Critical. Moist Esports out here performing as well. They played really well. And North Eption, a lot of people talked about them as the dark horse, came out and performed today at number 4 with 26 kills. Not too shabby. Definitely looks really good today. Shout out to those guys. They're really showing why they deserve to be here. Space Station, we know about those guys. Dropped Zenio and Frex, accustomed to them being there exactly where you want to see them, right in the mix. Love to see that. Interforce 36, some people that I kind of underrated and overlooked. They're definitely shutting me up, proving me wrong. I thought they would be bottom 20, or not, I'm sorry, not bottom 20, but below 15. And then you have TSM and 100 Thieves. I kind of see why TSM is kind of having some struggles here. I get what's going on. I think they need to isolate their fights. I think, and I'll talk about this a little bit later in the video, I think the addition of Bangalore would be a lot more effective for them. However, we all know how they kind of do this, where they'll kind of play the first 2 days really passively and really patient, and then they'll get more aggressive as the games go on, and how they'll really make those changes and make those changes and adaptations, I guess you would call it, later on in the tournament. 100 Thieves is the same thing. Scurry and those boys are very veterans. You know, they got a championship under their belt. They understand how to perform in these situations and what to do in these situations. But at the same time, I would look to see 100 Thieves get a little bit more aggressive coming up. If they're not going to get more aggressive, they're going to start playing zone, and we'll talk about metas in a second. But you'll look to see them play a little bit more zone and go back to what they're kind of more comfortable with the zone play style. And then you have Alliance and Oxygen kind of underperforming here. Alliance just aren't getting it. They're just not getting what they need done. They're not getting the kills. They did get a strong third placement at one point, but it's just not looking like these guys are able to get the kills that's needed and get the rotations that they need to. You know, the drop is not really going in their favor sometimes. You know, they're fighting for their drop, and it wasn't looking good for a good bit. The last game looked decent. You know, it looked a little bit better, but I'm still like, you know, pick it up. They need to get a little bit more aggressive. Now that we've read over the standings, there's some things that I want to talk about. Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter and you haven't looked at me on Twitter and you don't know anything about that, right? My Twitter's not huge or any of that. You kind of see where I'm going with this. I want to talk about meta changes, and the first thing that I want to talk about is Bangalore. Bangalore is the key to this tournament. Please watch this. You'll see this as this unfolds throughout the tournament. Bangalore is key when you're using ape comps. This is an incredibly ape comp scenario that we're seeing. There's a few zone teams and they're kind of being effective, but they're not being too effective. And you're seeing this throughout tier 2 and tier 1. We're seeing a lot of banged comps, or not banged comps, but ape comps come out, and you're seeing a lot of edge teams kind of working their way into the fray and working their way in. And I'm telling you right now, Bangalore is the key. When you have something this fast paced and this crucial, the only way to truly counter Bang is Bloodhound. Now, I know Seer is a better team scanner, as we would call him, but I think Bloodhound is the way to go, and I think that's the change that you're going to need to see. Because, again, when you have Seer, the scans are really directed, and they're not wide. So when the team goes to push in on a bang smoke, you know, you're going to get that one scan, so you're going to see 1 or 2 people, and you're going to see their health, or you're going to cancel res, you're going to do, you know, the stuff you see Seer do. But with Bloodhound, you can really get that push and that space that's going to be created with Bangalore. Now, again, we're seeing teams not even run Bangalore, and I kind of want to quote this, and I did talk about this on my Twitter, and you guys can go check it out. But FC in the last game, they were pretty much in the third party. They were trying to make a push. They threw their Bangalore ult, and when they went to make a push onto the team that had height on them, once they got up there to make that push, they got fried, and then they got third partied. Well, the way they were able to get out of that situation was to smoke off the team's line of sight that were overlooking them, and then smoke for the heal. And then once they got the heal, they dropped down, regrouped, and they were able to push in, get KP, and win the game. Bangalore is the key that we're seeing on the first day. Tomorrow, we may see some different changes come out, but I'm expecting a little bit more Bangalore plays coming out from people, and I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen Bloodhound come out as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it today. I just kind of want to give you guys some insight on the first day. Don't want to make this too long. Welcome back. I know you guys are like, yo, where you been? What's been going on? And some of you guys who've been waiting for me to do these, well, here you are. I said I wanted to get back into doing these, and I will. I'm going to focus on Apex Legends for now. We'll talk about Valorant when I get the time to do that. But appreciate you guys for coming to the YouTube channel. Let me know in the comment section below. Have you watched some Apex? Do you enjoy ALGS? I think this is pretty much the best spot that we've been in. I would like to see more zone teams and more zone meta come out. But right now, I think teams fighting and playing each other the way they're playing it is just great for viewership. It's fighting from beginning to end. I love it. I'm engaged. And we're here. The first land of the year. We here, baby. Let's get it going. Much love. Bless up. As always, God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next one.